Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Beautiful Wednesday morning here in Central Florida. Starting this New Year's Eve morning off with 37 beautiful degrees. No humidity. It feels beautiful. This is Fat Boy weather. And Fat Boy is happy, happy, happy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And, yeah, the heaters are on in the dog kennel, and the heater's on for the. No, I didn't turn heaters on for the chickens. They're fine. We gave them extra bedding. They're good. But anywho, it's a beautiful day. The rest of the family, mom and the three kids and Aunt Sarah, are going to go to Legoland and meet some good friends and their kids today, and they're going to spend the day at Legoland. And I guess at 8 o'clock they have fireworks for the kiddos. So I'm working, and then I'll go home, and I got a couple projects to take care of. It should be easy to do with no interruptions. And other than that, that's today's plan. I have to be to work on the 2nd, so I probably won't stay up real late on New Year's tonight or even tomorrow. So I don't know. I might stay up tonight. Probably not, though. It ain't what it used to be. Just saying. Anywho, whatever you do to celebrate, enjoy it. My dad used to let us stay up and watch the ball drop, and in Times Square, and then he used to we'd have ice cream with toppings and stuff, which at home it wasn't very often, so it was quite a treat. And I've done that a few times with the kids, but they're going to be probably wiped out by spending 10 hours at Legoland, I would hope. But anyhow, it is a beautiful Wednesday. It's hump day. We're halfway there. We have tomorrow off, but we're working Friday, which is fine. No issues there. And just getting it done. One day at a time. That's all you can do. Last night, I didn't do anything spectacular, I don't think. Just normal household duties, and I made hush puppies again, and excuse me. I have a simple hush puppy recipe. Maybe different from yours, but this one works out for me. I take a half a cup of very finely diced onions. You could go 3/4 if you wanted to, and about a tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. Not quite a half cup of sugar. I cut the sugar back from the original recipe, and 2 eggs. I get that all mixed up, and then I add a cup of masa meal flour, cornmeal, really fine ground, and a cup of regular flour, and mix all that up, and might do a pinch of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and that's all she wrote. Fry them little babies up; they're good. I have a daughter that likes little corn nuggets, so I went ahead and took and finally chopped up some corn and threw that in there last night and added it, so it was almost like a hush puppy with a little bit of corn in it, and apparently she liked it because it kept disappearing. So it was okay. Sometimes if I'm feeling froggy, I'll go ahead and chop up some green onion, throw in there, or if I'm feeling like I want a little spice, chop up a little jalapeno in there. But it's a very simple recipe. It's very easy to do, and it fills the gap, so to speak. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get another bulk order of flour and make up mixes again because I'm all out. So I don't buy pancake mix and all that stuff. I make that up myself, vacuum seal it, and put it in the freezer or in the cold storage or someplace that's not going to get anything to it. And it's so easy. I mean, it's so easy. And then depending if I grind my own flour or whether I buy it, depends on how much flour goes in it. So einkorn flour, if I grind it myself, will take more moisture than what you buy on the shelf. So typically, grinding my own flour, I like to get the einkorn berries and grind it. I can grind up to 10 pounds with our KitchenAid before I gotta give it a break. A tip to that is don't start at where you want to finish. Start it off at like 8 and then dial it down a couple notches and a couple more until you get to where you want to be. I generally like it finished at 2. If I am doing needing a really fine flour for some pastries, then I'll go all the way down to 0. But typically 2 is where I'm at, and I'm happy with it, unless I'm doing something very, very elegant, something that needs to be very finely ground. And I said 0. The setting is 0, but it's not 0. it's still grinding it down a little finer. It's getting really fine at that point. But 2 works good for me. If I'm doing a rustic bread and I want more of the whole grain feeling, I will stop it at 4. But for pancakes, biscuits, stuff like that, I'm going to go to number 2 on the grinder and or the mill, depending on what I'm using. The settings on the mill are a little different than on the KitchenAid. Anywho, it's so easy to do, and if you grind your own flour, it tastes so much better. And everything you make with it will taste so much better. Bread, everything. So, the pancake mix is simple. If you don't know, now I use 2 cups of flour. Some use 1.5 cups, but I use 2 cups of flour and a heaping teaspoon of baking soda, heaping teaspoon of baking powder. I don't use any salt or sugar. That's the dry ingredients. That's it. And I make sure it's mixed really good. I'll put the whisk attachment on the KitchenAid and I'll mix it up, and then I put it into the bag, and then I will put it into the vacuum sealer. If you use jars, it actually works out better. If you use a jar and you put a muffin tin liner in the top of it and go ahead and tighten it down and vacuum seal it in the jar, it will actually give you less cleanup on your vacuum sealer, because when you use the bag, you get a little bit of fine dust into your machine that you have to clean out. So, anywho, that's just simple, right? Biscuits aren't much different, Biscuits are very similar, and you can start them off with the same mix. Just add a little something. When it comes to liquid ingredients and pancakes, I like to use a teaspoon or a capful of vanilla, and then I like to use milk instead of water. And normally I do 2 cups of milk for the thinner ones, 1.5 cups if you want thicker ones, and that's about it. Pretty simple stuff. My frying oil right now, because of certain allergies with some people in the house, is sunflower seed oil. I like it a lot, but sure is expensive. There it is. I tell you what I prefer, lard. And you're going to look at me funny, but I tell you what, it all comes out better with lard. My preferred cooking oils are butter, whether I make it myself or buy it. I don't buy butter that's anything more in it than sweet cream. That's all you need. That's all it takes to make butter. I don't buy salted butter. If I do, if someone wants salted butter, then the only ingredient should be sweet cream, salt. There shouldn't be anything else in it. If there is, it's junk. You don't need it. You can make it yourself pretty easy if you've got a blender, or if you've got a KitchenAid, or if you just got a jar. You can make butter yourself so easy, and it tastes so much better. So, especially if you can get some fresh milk. But the best milk, and I wish they sold it more like this in Florida, but they don't, is single pasteurized and not homogenized. That means the cream and the milk still separates, and I still like that, and I'll take the cream off and I'll make some really good butter out of that. But anywho, you know, just some things that I like to do, and I do a couple different biscuits. I do drop biscuits if I'm in a real hurry, and I'll do regular biscuits that you roll out cut if I got time. It just depends what's going on. And if you want to save some time, make a batch of the biscuit dough, cut them out, put them in a container that can go in the freezer. Put a thing of parchment paper or wax paper in between each layer so they don't stick. And then when you need them, you can pull them out and throw them in the oven. And they'll still be better than anything you buy in the store, I guarantee. They won't be as good as making it fresh out, but it will be very good and better than anything you buy in the store, and it'll save you some time. It's a quick and easy thing to do if you're going camping, to pre-make that and have it in the frozen, and then once you get ready to cook them, they're going to be thawed, ready to go. I always thaw them before I bake them. I'm sure, I guess maybe you could cook them from frozen. Don't know. I always thaw them before I bake them. So, simple little things. It don't take a lot. Lots of time, you can make a batch of biscuits from start to finish. And I'm talking from getting your ingredients out to taking them out of the oven in 25-30 minutes. Seriously. Now, that's not too much time, even if you worked all day. And gravy, sausage gravy is so simple to make, the sausage of your choice, whether it be turkey sausage, pork sausage, mild Italian, whatever you want to do. And, start with the roux, a little flour, a little butter. I like to dab a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in there. Get that roux started, and then you're good to go from there. I can't tell you how much. It depends how much gravy you want. You might want a tablespoon of each. You might want 3 tablespoons each. Depends how much gravy you're trying to make, how thick you want it. And a whole lot of milk, right? And that's a simple bechamel sauce, is a white sauce. That's just a roux, which is flour and butter, and milk. And you can make a million things out of that. You can do sausage gravy. You can do egg gravy. You can do called tuna pea wiggle. You add tuna fish and peas. Gravy for over toast or crackers. You can do a million different things. That's a good base and start for a good cheese sauce, for macaroni and cheese. It's a good start for 100 different things, for casseroles. The sky's the limit. Just think about it. And it's so simple to make. I don't use a whisk myself. I stay at it with a wooden spoon. But if you're not going to stay at it, you need a whisk to break up your lumps. But if you stay there and stir constantly while you're working it, then you won't need a whisk. A wooden spoon. I actually prefer to use a wooden spoon. It's just my preference. A lot of people will be like, I'm not using a whisk because I'm going to stand there every 10 seconds. Get over it. It's not that hard to make good food for your family from scratch. It really isn't. It's not difficult. And it's better for you and your family. And I got to tell you, if I make homemade bread and I only make one loaf, I promise you it won't be there tomorrow. I mean, it'll be, if I make it in the morning on Monday, come Tuesday afternoon, there ain't any left. It's just that good, and then the kids will tear it up. Same thing with homemade biscuits most of the time. Every now and then they're like, cheddar or bacon cheddar dropped biscuits. awesome add-on to your recipe. Make a regular drop biscuit recipe, add a good cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I like Vermont seriously sharp, extra sharp cheese. That's what I like. The kids like the a little bit milder, but I like it with a little bit of bite. And take some leftover bacon. I know that's almost an idiom, leftover bacon. Or cook you up some bacon and break it up and then throw that in there. Mix that all in there into your drop biscuit and then scoop that onto your baking sheet and bake that. And you want to talk about happy people? Cheddar bacon biscuits, baby. And it's just a simple add on. So I challenge you this if you don't do it. If you don't do it, try to make something from scratch. And it doesn't, little tiny mistakes aren't a big deal, okay? So make something from scratch. And then once you feel like you've got it good, do your own little modifications, add little things, take things, do something to switch it up, and you'll really enjoy it, and you should, and you'll be healthier for it. If you've never made fresh pasta, you don't know what good pasta is. Now it does take some time. I have a pasta attachment for the KitchenAid that does help. I have the extruder and I have just the roller. Then it'll do a whole bunch of different things with the roller, different sizes and stuff. I would tell you, if you're going to try it from scratch, make it totally by hand first. Get to know the feel of the dough and what it should be like before you go using the machine. Then don't use an extruder first or you're going to get discouraged, okay? After you've mastered pasta making, which should be 2 or 3 batches, it's really that simple. After, then mix it a little bit. Follow the instructions on your extruder. For mine, I need to let it sit a little bit longer before I put it in the extruder. And then I find that if I put a little bit of spritz of olive oil into the extruder and make sure I take a brush and brush the extruder outlets and inlet, just coat it. Excuse me, it works easier. And then you go ahead and get it going, and you can extrude penne, elbow macaroni, whatever little dials. I don't remember all the attachments I've had. I have made elbow macaroni, penne, and there's the little corkscrew ones. I forget the fancy name for that, but the spiral noodles. And if you do that, you can pre-make it and put it in the refrigerator for a little while, a few days, but you can freeze that as well, and it'll come out fine, or you can just dry it, and once it's dry, you can go ahead and vacuum seal it. If it's not dry, don't vacuum seal it. Just telling you. But anyhow, if you make fresh pasta, you'll never want to buy it in a box again. Although I have a lot of boxes of pasta that we got on discount that I vacuum sealed and put away, for a rainy day or bad conditions, right? I probably have close to 20 pounds of pasta between spaghetti, elbow macaroni, and maybe some penne and a couple others. And then I have some really thin noodles. They're not angel hair, but they're really thin noodles that are smaller that the kids will like in like Asian dishes and stuff. Throw some soy sauce in there and turn its color a little bit. But anywho, store as well. But make it yourself, and you're gonna love it. Now, pasta is gonna take you a little bit longer than some things, but if you got a Saturday or Sunday, and you've got, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes to make it, and then some time to dry it, which it's not that bad. I mean, maybe an hour, if, and most of that's waiting for it to dry. And it depends how you make it.